For more than half a century, American Indian tribes and their advocates tried in vain to persuade professional sports teams to drop names offensive to native peoples. But the movement finally gained traction in recent years. Washington's pro football team dropped its Redskins moniker in 2020 after decades of protest, and last month announced it had adopted the name Commanders. In July, the Cleveland Indians, which dropped the club's chief Wahoo mascot in 2019, announced it was changing its name to the Guardians. The Major League Baseball club had been the Indians for more than a century, since 1915. And then there are the holdouts, the Atlanta Braves baseball team, the National Football League's Kansas City Chiefs, and the National Hockey League's Chicago Blackhawks have no immediate plans to change their names, and Braves fans still proudly simulate the arm-swaying tomahawk chop in American. Indian mascoting opponents, however, continue to wage their public relations campaign to change that. The San Manuel Band of Mission Indians in San Bernardino and the Yochati Winton Nation near Sacramento have joined forces with the filmmaking nonprofit the Chesla Foundation to produce the documentary Imagining the Indian, The Fight Against Native American Mascoting, which premieres April 3 at San Manuel. The executive producer, provided a $1 million grant for the documentary. "What we hope to do with the film is educate," said Ben West, a Cheyenne Indian who co-directed the film. He said American Indian mascoting has deep, adverse psychological impacts on Native peoples, especially children, and studies support that view. Native youth have high levels of depression and suicidal ideology, and there is a direct line that can be drawn between the impact mascoting has in some. This affects how people view others, people of color, in general, said Aviva Kempner, a Washington, D.C. based filmmaker and co-director of the film. She said at the height of the Black Lives Matter movement, after the killing of George Floyd, there was a heightened sensitivity and awareness about the racism rooted in American Indian mascots. The owner of the Washington football team was finally pressured by his sponsors to change their racist 10. She said there are still 3 professional sports teams and hundreds of college and high school teams that need to abandon their monikers and mascots.